Alright, back again, Luke here, and today what I want to do is just talk a little bit about the Game Gear, some different colors, and a couple of different rarer Game Gears that maybe you've never seen before. But before we get started here, I just have to apologize here. I know that the audio quality for this video is not going to be very good, and there's going to be probably a buzzing or a humming sound. But unfortunately, until I can get some better equipment, that's probably going to be something that's in a lot of my videos. So if you can just bear with me a little bit until I get some better equipment, that'd be awesome. So, well, let's get into this right here. The Game Gear that we have in front of us is a Game Gear that we've probably all seen before, unless you've never owned a Game Gear. But it's the original charcoal gray color, and nothing super special. You know, the looks of it, although they were kind of cool back in the day, there have been so many other different variants in color that the gray one kind of looks a little bit lonely, a little bit sad nowadays. To give you an idea here, I've got a couple of different colors, but unfortunately I don't have them all. If you want to see a couple of other different variants that I don't have here, I would definitely recommend going and checking out Big Bad Daddy 11. He just wound up picking up a Game Gear that was navy blue, and also Fat Funk, who has a white colored Game Gear. But for the Game Gears that I do have, let's move this one aside here for a second. This is another kind of cool color that I came across a long time ago, and in the video here this is probably going to come out as more of a white, but it's actually a sky blue, and it's a really sharp looking sky blue, and it gives the Game Gear a little bit more character, and it's kind of a rarer, more unusual color to find. And I wound up picking this up probably about 2 or 3 years ago, and it had a really bad board on the inside, but I wound up replacing all the caps on it and doing a little bit of soldering to it, and got it all back up and working. And it's a really sharp looking Game Gear, so if you can come across this one here, I'd recommend picking it up, especially if you're a collector looking for different color variants. The Game Gear has quite a few different color variants. And to go on to another color one, let's see here. This is one that you've probably seen in some of my other videos. This is my Coca-Cola Game Gear. Now, this originally came with a TV tuner, and the TV tuner was a set for this one. And this one is kind of unique in the fact that it's a really rare Game Gear to begin with, and luckily I wound up finding this at Hard Off about, I don't know, 2 years ago or something close to that. And this one had some audio problems as well as video problems, so once again, just a cap fix just did the trick, and it's working really nicely now. I've had a couple of people ask me, like, whoa, where'd you get that from, and you know, how much did that cost you, and are you gonna sell it? And well, I got it at Hard Off, and I think I wound up paying about $60 for it at the time, even though it was broken. It had the TV tuner on it. And what's interesting about this one, aside from other TV tuners that I've seen, this one actually came with a digital tuner instead of an analog one. So I think that's one thing that rose the price up a little bit. But as far as selling it, unfortunately this is my only Coca-Cola Game Gear, and I think I'm going to hold on to it just for a little bit longer. But let's take this one out. And this is the last Game Gear is one that I didn't show you, and it's a Game Gear that I had packed away, but today when I was doing some unboxing a little bit, I wound up pulling it out and figured I'd make a video on it. This is the RayEarth Game Gear. Now, if you're not familiar with RayEarth, RayEarth is a Japanese anime, and it's really popular here in Japan, and they decided to make a Game Gear for the RayEarth based Game Gear. And this Game Gear actually came with a red-colored RayEarth game, but unfortunately when I got this Game Gear, it didn't come with the game. The game wasn't included, so unfortunately I don't have that. But it does have the box, which is a little bit of a lucky thing, because I went into Hard Off, and about a couple years ago, and the guy said, "We just got in something that I think you might like." I said, "Well, what is it?" And he said, "Well, it's this RayEarth Game Gear." And so I took a look at it, and I just said, "Yeah, hook me up." And so I got it. Let's try to get this out of here. Now, this RayEarth Game Gear is the same, almost the same color as the Coca-Cola Game Gear. If you put them next to each other, there's just a slight difference in the red. Maybe that might be just due to some fading, or maybe it's the way that the Game Gear was designed, I'm not sure, but just a little bit off with the red. But this one, once again, it has the RayEarth logo down at the bottom here. It's got the little character on the side, and this one's in really, really good condition. It had almost no scratches on it. It looked like it had just been preserved and nobody had used it for a while. But unfortunately, on the front here, on the R for the lettering for the RayEarth, it actually had a couple of little scratches in it, so I touched it up a little bit, but other than that, it's in great condition. So if you're looking for another thing to collect for, another system to collect for, definitely the Game Gear has a lot of different variants, and it wouldn't be a bad system to go out and try and find the different colors for, as well as the different rarer ones, for example, like the Coca-Cola one or the RayEarth. Now there might be a few other different kinds of Game Gears out there, I'm not sure. I haven't come across anything else, but if I do, I'm definitely going to pick them up, because seeing the different colors and the different styles, the rarer ones as well, these definitely make a great addition to any collector's equipment. So I would definitely recommend picking these up if you can find them. Another good place to look is sometimes the auctions. You can find some of these Game Gears with a lot of sound trouble and with a lot of video trouble, and as many people have mentioned, as well as myself, just the capacitors on these things seem to be the biggest problem. So as long as you can go out to the store and pick up some caps, even if you have a Game Gear that you find on the internet that's really cheap, but it's a rare one, it says it doesn't work or it doesn't have any sound, or the video is really bad, it's a simple fix, and it's definitely worth picking them up if you get the chance. But just want to give you a little bit of an idea of some of the different styles of Game Gears that are out there, or the different styles of Game Gears that I have. And like I said, if you get a chance, go over and check out Big Bad Daddy 11 and Fat Funk if you want to see another couple of different color variants. But that's all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching.